Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Family Moments, where we use really cool object lessons
that teach the truth
about what matters most.
Exactly. And today, we're going to have some fun with this.
Oh, are we gonna play Boggle?
Boggle? No, we're not going to.
Oh, are we gonna play Taboo?
Huh?
Telestrations? Charades?
We're not going to play board games. We're going to talk about sand.
Sand?
Yeah, doesn't that sound like fun?
Well, kind of, but I think I'd rather play Boggle.
We didn't even bring that.
Can we at least build a sand castle?
Maybe when we're done with the lesson.
Okay. You've got 2 minutes.
Oh, brother. Hey kids, Pastor Robbie here, along with my lovely assistant, Sadie,
Hello.
and today's special guest, Alana.
Hi.
And today we're going to have some fun talking about a firm foundation.
A firm foundation? I thought we were gonna talk about sand.
We are. Why else do you think we're meeting at Alana's beach here?
Well, I was hoping it was so that we could go swimming.
Maybe a little later, but for now, I want to focus on the lesson.
Does the Bible even mention sand?
As a matter of fact, it does. For example, way back in Genesis,
The first book of the Bible.
correct, God tells Abraham that his family will actually outnumber the stars in the sky and the sand grains on the seashore.
Wow!
What are you doing?
According to the internet, there's over 7 quintillion grains of sand on Earth.
It's a lot of sand, and there's even more stars in the sky.
Yeah, according to this article, there are an estimated 70,000 million stars visible from the Earth.
That would be like a 7 followed by 22 zeros behind it.
Whoa.
That's a lot of stars. Of course, we know there's really only one true star of Family Moments.
Yeah, me.
Oh, brother. I was referring to Jesus.
Oh.
How in the world did Abraham keep track of that many people?
Well, it was really God's way of telling Abraham that he's going to have a really, really big family.
Family reunions would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, well,
He would have had to rent out like the entire Holiday Inn. Do you know how much that would cost?
Can we move on?
Sorry.
Now, the example I wanted to talk about today comes from Matthew 7:24 through 27, where it says, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the wind blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash."
So we are going to build a sand castle.
Well, sort of. I want to demonstrate today's verse with a little object lesson I like to call Don't Hide Your Head in the Sand. And all we're going to need is 2 toy houses, some rock, some water, and a whole lot of sand. And you can do this on a smaller scale in a classroom version, but since we're at Alana's beach today, we're going to do it right here. And we're going to build 2 foundations, one out of sand and one out of rock.
Pastor Robbie?
Yes?
What exactly is a foundation?
Good question. A foundation is another word for the base level or the ground part that the house is built on top of. And today, you and Sadie are going to build a foundation out of sand, and I'm going to build one out of rock. Got it?
Got it.
Let's do it. Okay, now we're going to place houses on top of our foundations and see how they look. Very nice.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, they do. But let's see what happens when the storms come in. See, it's not even budging. When the rains come down, the house still stands, even when it storms. Now that's a firm foundation. And that's what life is like when we hear the words of Jesus and put them into practice. The storm happens, but we stay grounded.
Wow.
But those who hide their head in the sand and don't listen and don't follow Jesus' words are like those who build a house on a weak foundation made out of sand. When the rains of life hit, let's watch what happens. And when the storms really hit, the house comes crashing down.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we want to build a life with Jesus as our foundation, so when the storms hit, which they always do, we won't be washed away.
Wow, now that's what I call shifting sands.
Exactly. Having Jesus as our firm foundation is a beautiful thing. So, Sadie, what did you learn today?
I learned that wise people build their life on a firm foundation by following the words of Jesus and putting those words into practice.
Exactly.
And if we have a life built on a firm foundation, when trouble comes, our life won't come crashing down like those who built their life on sand.
Very good. Now, we still have time to work on those sandcastles that you mentioned earlier.
Oh, no worries. Alana and I already worked on our sand castle while we were building our sand foundation.
Great, I already worked on mine back when I was working on my foundation too. Want to take a look at mine?
Sure.
Come on, let's go. So there it is. All we need to do, put a little flag on the top. We've got ourselves the nicest castle on the beach.
I don't know. Ours is pretty good too. Right, Alana?
Right.
Well, where is this sweet little castle of yours?
Over there.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty nice looking, but at least mine is built strong enough where it can actually withstand rain and storms.
Oh, really? Let's find out. Alana?
See? Still standing.
Nice, Dad. But what if a storm hits?
Not a problem. Oh, well, just make sure you hit the castle instead of my face.
Oops. Sorry, Dad.
No problem. Let's see around.
Stories of the Bible. The parable of the two builders. This is Jesus,
Heyo!
who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love and healed people from their sickness. He did many miracles like walking on water
Oh, hey guys.
and even raised people from the dead.
Wahoo!
One day, as he saw the crowds gathering, Jesus went up to the mountainside and sat down. His disciples gathered around him, and he began to teach them. He asked them, "Why do you keep calling me Lord, Lord, when you don't do what I say?" Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise.
Hey, I'm gonna build here.
I'm gonna build out there.
All right, suit yourself.
Like a person who builds a house on solid rock.
Oh, yeah.
When the floodwaters rise and break against that house, it stands firm because it was well built.
I'll get it here.
But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish,
All right. Hey, this is nice.
like a person who builds a house on sand.
Uh-oh.
When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against that house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching.